Yo, what's good, everybody? And in today's video, we will be tier ranking all 32 NFL teams at this point in the season. So I'm really excited to do this. I should have done this earlier, but yeah, so we'll just get right into it. So starting off, we have the New Orleans Saints. And I'm not going to lie, number one pick contention. I just don't think that, that they're not the best. I don't think they're mediocre. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's number one pick contention. All right, and then secondly, we got the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are like mediocre at best. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they beat the Bills, so they do have the potential to beat good teams, but they're not potential wild cards. They're not like one of those teams where missing the playoffs, but they're mediocre at best. That's from what I've seen, and yeah. So next off, we have the Ravens. Now, no, I might get a lot of hate for this. I think the Ravens are a playoff team. I'm not gonna lie. They got Lamar back, and now they've been on a hot streak. I expect them to actually do pretty good. Now the Steelers have been selling, so I do expect possibly the Ravens to go to the playoffs. All right, and then next we have the Bengals. Now the Bengals, I think they're missing the playoff, and I think they did have the potential to be potentially a wild card spot. With Joe Flacco hitting his stride and Jamar Chase playing well, but their defense is just Swiss cheese. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard to do anything when your defense sells every single time. All right, New York Giants, young but intriguing. Yeah, I think that's a good spot to put them in. I mean, they got some really good young guys coming in that could possibly be the future guys for them. I mean, Jackson Dart, one of them. Cam Scatterboo, and then they got a ton of other players that are, in there. But I just think they're young but intriguing. They're not gonna do anything this year. I mean, they've just lost a ton of games they should have won. But yeah, they're young but intriguing, which is cool for them. All right, so next up is the Minnesota Vikings, and the Minnesota Vikings are missing playoffs. I just think the Minnesota Vikings have a really good roster. I just don't think. I don't know. They just have not been playing well. Yeah, I mean, I can't really say much because I haven't really watched a ton of their games, but just basing it off of the scores and stuff, I just think that they're not that good this year compared to last year. Maybe they should have kept Sam Darnold. Who knows? All right, the LA Rams. That is for sure a Super Bowl favorite right there. I don't think there's a lot to say here. I mean, they beat the Seahawks, which is another Super Bowl contender. I mean, if you beat a Super Bowl contender, that's pretty good. But yeah, I do think the Rams are a well-rounded team. They have really good wide receivers. They got a good quarterback. They got a good defense. They are definitely Super Bowl favorites going into this year. Now we'll see what the playoff bring, but I think the Rams are definitely a really good team this year. All right, the Buccaneers. Now the Buccaneers, I think, are Super Bowl contenders. I don't think they're a Super Bowl favorite, but I do think they're a Super Bowl contender. They have a really good team. They got Baker Mayfield. They got some really good young guys. They're just a little banged up right now, with injuries and all that. They're a little banged up, but I think once they get healthy, as the seasons progress or as the games progress, they'll get a lot better, and I think they'll be definitely Super Bowl contenders and in that conversation. All right. Next up, we have the Lions. Now, I think the Lions are a Super Bowl contender. The Lions, they're really good. I think there's some things that they could have done better to win, like maybe that one game against the Eagles. But at the end of the day, they're just a good team, a good overall team. That's what I'm thinking. They're just a good team. I don't know what I could say about that. The Chicago Bears. I'm gonna put the Chicago Bears. Well, I don't think they're gonna beat the Lions, so I'm gonna put them. I don't even know. I'll put them in a playoff. I think the Chicago Bears have been playing really well this year. They're definitely one of the better teams in this entire tier list. So that's why I'll put them in playoffs. I could have put them in potential wild card. The wild card is probably where they're gonna be, considering the Lions are they're good, but yeah. All right, San Francisco. I also think they're a playoff team. I think that the San Francisco 49ers are a playoff team. They've been playing pretty well, actually. I think even with Brock Purdy out for the majority of the season, they've been playing really well. And now that you have them back, you could possibly do even more than that. So, I do think that the San Francisco 49ers could make it into the playoffs, and that's just what I think. All right, next up, you got the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I might get some hate for this, but I'm putting the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl contenders. Now, a lot of people will put them up as Super Bowl favorites. I just don't think this team is that good. Well, no, I think they're good, but I don't think they're that good, if you get what I'm saying. I'm a Denver Broncos fan. So there's obviously I love my Broncos, but they're not the best team in the NFL, and yet they beat the Eagles, if you get what I'm saying. So there is some flaws with the Eagles, but they do have a really good defense. They have a really good offense, or their offense is struggling a little bit. I will give them that. But when their offense is clicking, it can be dangerous. So I think the Eagles are still Super Bowl contenders. They're the defending champs. And their record is they're number one in the NFC. So yeah, they're still in it for sure. But all right, next up you got the Las Vegas Raiders. Not much to say about the Raiders. They're just bad, playing bad. I mean, my Broncos barely beat them, and I was having a heart attack the entire game when the Broncos were playing because their offense was trash, and then the Raiders' offense was also trash. It was kind of just horrible. But yeah, the Raiders they just suck this year. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. All right, the Green Bay Packers. I'm gonna put the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs. The Green Bay Packers, they're good. They've definitely played some games where they should have won. They definitely sold some games, but I still think the Green Bay Packers are a playoff team. They'll make it there. Nothing much. I haven't watched a whole lot of Green Bay Packers games, but I do think that they will make the playoffs. Do I think they're Super Bowl contenders right now? Not necessarily. I don't think they're necessarily gonna get up there. But you know how it is. But yeah. Alright, so next up we have the Washington Commanders, and I'm not gonna lie. The Washington Commanders are young but intriguing when healthy. Like, I think Jaden Daniels, if he's healthy, like, he could be a major factor in this league. Like, he could be the guy. But it's just been decimated by injuries. I'm not gonna put them in number one contention. I'm not gonna put them in mediocre at best, because they're not mediocre at best. They're good at best. But they're young still. I mean, they're pretty young, but they're also intriguing, you know, like, but they're just decimated with injuries. Like, they've been brutal. They've been in some brutal injuries this year. Like, you know, Jaden Daniels injury, J5, like, he's been in a really bad injury. But yeah, I think they're young but intriguing. All right, next up, you got the Arizona Cardinals. What's the Arizona Cardinals record? What's their record? They're fourth. They're 3-7. Yeah, so they're definitely not making the playoffs. Put them in mediocre at best. I think they beat some teams. They beat the Cowboys, but I mean, that's not that very hard. But with that offense, it might be a little hard. I still feel like they're not that good. I mean, they're 3-7. They're not as horrible as these two teams from what I've seen. But yeah, the Arizona Cardinals are just bad too. But that's just how it is, you know. Anyway, the Steelers. Steelers are a playoff team. Actually, I might get hate for this, but I think they're a potential wild card. I just think the Ravens will hit their stride. They'll get into the playoffs. They'll win the division, and I think the Steelers, if they lock in, they could get the wild card. But there's no certainty with the Steelers. I feel like there's not really anything that's like, oh, they're gonna make the playoffs for sure, like the rest of the teams up there. But I just feel like the Steelers, from the games I've seen, they've played some bad. They've played bad in some games, man. Like, again, the one against the Chargers that I saw, man, it was just bad. Like, I don't know how to describe it. All right, next up, you got the Bills. The Bills, they're a playoff team. I don't think that they're Super Bowl contenders, Super Bowl favorites this year. It's always the same story with the Bills. They get into the playoffs. You know, they win one game. They usually destroy the team, like, you know, my Broncos last year. And then they get to the second game, and then they lose. So I think they're a playoff team. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender. I mean, they just lost to the Houston Texans, which is kind of absurd. I mean, like, it's kind of absurd. You know, all right, the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think, bro, you can never trust the Atlanta Falcons with anything, but I'll put them in, shoot, I don't even know. I'll put them in mediocre at best. I just don't think that they're the best. Like, I don't think they're, you know, at their best, they're mediocre. But, like, when they're just the weirdest team in the NFL, I feel like. They're one week they play good, one week they play trash. It's like, I don't even know. So we're putting them at the mid spot because, you know, that's what they play. You know, they play good one week, they play bad one the other week. What's in between, in the middle? So, yeah, that's what I'm putting them in for now. We'll see what changes. I was going to put them here because they do got some young players that are intriguing, but I just think they're mid at best. That's just what I think. All right, the Seahawks. I think Seahawks, Super Bowl contenders. I just think that the Seahawks are really good, to be honest. Like, I think Sam Darnold's playing well. Their team is really good. I mean, JSN is crazy at the game. Like, they're just good. I mean, I could see them going to the Super Bowl. They'll probably have to play the Rams again. I mean, those two teams are like the teams of the NFC. Like, I think the Lions and the Eagles and the Bucks are not near on the level as those two right now. But I think if they do play in the playoffs, it's going to be a lot of hype, and whoever wins that game is going to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. But yeah. Next up, you got the New England Patriots. I'm going to put them in, honestly, bro, the New England Patriots have been playing really well, right? They've been playing really well, and I think, honestly, they're the only team that is, has the same record as the Broncos. And it's like I think the new Tom Brady and the new freaking Peyton Manning, we're in the new era, and the Broncos and the Patriots are back. I think they're back. That's our bros right there. I think that the Patriots are gonna make a huge run, and they're gonna be Super Bowl favorites. Like, I think they beat the Bucks. I mean, even though the Bucks are rigged up, they beat the Bucks. Like, come on. Drake May's playing really well, MVP candidate. But yeah, I think that anything could happen. Next up, you got the Browns. Nothing much to say there. I just don't think they're that good. All right, we're putting my Broncos at the end. All right, the Texans. They're missing the playoffs. They put that defense though, like they should. I just don't think they're actually put them in the wild card. They just won, so they're 6-5. They might actually make the wild card. I don't think they're a playoff team by any means, but they're 6-5. They, if they hit a little stride, they get to like 9 wins, 10 wins. It's definitely possible. So I'll put them in the potential wild card for now. And yeah, so the Chiefs missed the playoffs, baby. The Chiefs are missing the playoffs. I don't care what anybody says. They're missing the playoffs. I don't care. Like, just from what I've seen, they've lost all one-score games. 0-5. Unless if that continues, they're missing the playoffs for sure. Because, you cannot go 0-5 against one-score games, bro. It's gotta be at least above 500 if you want to go into the playoffs. Because not everything in the NFL is just gonna be handed to you. And I love that the Chiefs are missing the playoffs this year. Let me tell you, that gives us so much confidence as a Broncos fan. Like, damn, the Chiefs might be out of the playoffs. But yeah, the Dallas Cowboys. All right. The Dallas Cowboys are kind of mid, to be honest. I think they're missing the playoffs though. They're not enough to be put at mediocre at best. I think at best they're good, but with that defense, they're just missing the playoffs. I think if they had a better defense, they might be up there, but they're just not good. Anyway, you got the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm not gonna lie, Chargers are a playoff team. I don't think they're crazy good, like all the teams up here, but they're definitely a team that could cause some trouble in the playoffs. I think they're a playoff team. Like, with their record right now, I don't see them going down anytime soon, but they're definitely not the greatest, but they're also not the worst. So playoff team. New York Jets. Yeah, nothing much to say about them. Kind of garbage. The Panthers. Panthers are a playoff team. I mean, actually, yeah, they're a playoff team. They're definitely one of the best teams. Like, they're a good team. Did I just say one of the best teams? No. They're definitely a good team. They'll make the playoffs for sure, I think. They've been playing pretty well. And, Bryce Young has been balling. He's been playing good compared to last year. So, good for them. Good for the Panthers. Okay, the Tennessee Titans. Not gonna lie. Yeah, number one pick contention. I mean, they're young, but they're not really intriguing right now. So I'll put them in number one pick because any one of these teams, depending on if they lose, can get the number one pick. All right, the Colts. Now the Colts. Come on, man. Super Bowl favorite, bro. They've been balling this year. Jonathan Taylor has been balling. Like, he might get the MVP as a running back. Like, I hope he does. Like, besides Drake May, he might be the one. Which I kind of hope, because Bro, when's the last time a running back got the MVP? I don't even know. But yeah, he's been balling. Daniel Jones has been doing enough to win, which is good. Their defense is good. I mean, it's just a good team, good, well-rounded team. So they're definitely a Super Bowl favorite and the biggest surprise of this year for sure. Jacksonville Jaguars. I want to put them right here because, like, but I also want them. I don't know. We'll put them in front of the Chargers. I just think, me personally, that the Chargers. They destroyed the Chargers, so they're obviously beating a playoff team. So yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they're a playoff team. Do I think they're that good? Probably not. But with the record and all, I think they can make it. And yeah. Last but certainly not least, the Denver Broncos. Look, no matter what you say about my Broncos, the Broncos win games. We got, the second best defense in the NFL besides the Texans? I think the Broncos. I might get hate for this. And there's obviously no bias here. Super Bowl favorites, baby. Super Bowl favorites. We got 3 AFC teams for Super Bowl favorites and 1 NFC team. You know what? Nah. We're putting that right there. And then any other teams right here. No. Putting the Seahawks and the Rams, and then the 3 AFC teams. We're doing it. We're doing it. Actually, no, I can't do that. Anyway, the Denver Broncos, man. They find ways to win. They've almost lost to some of these teams down here, but they've won a game again. This team right here, they find ways to win, and that is hard in the NFL. Like, that's pretty hard, And with the New York Giants thing, I knew the Broncos were they're gonna be it this year, However, this could all change, This could all be flipped. When playoffs come, It's the first game, and these two, the New England Patriots and the Broncos, are competing for number 1 seed. Now, I honestly think. Let's look up the New England Patriots here. Bengals, but they do kind of got a harder, like an easy schedule, kind of. I think they got the Bills, the the Patriots kind of got an easy schedule. I'm not gonna lie, they do be having an easy schedule. Oh, really? Yeah, they kind of got an easy schedule. And then the Broncos, they got a harder schedule, but not like a whole lot. I mean, they play, who do they play? Play the Commanders, Raiders, Packers, Jaguars, Chiefs, Chargers. Yeah, they got a little harder stretch. I think the Patriots get number 1 seed, Broncos get 2nd seed. That's what I'd say again. And the Colts, actually the Colts might be up there too. I don't know. But anyway, our Broncos are Super Bowl favorites. Stop me. Comment down below what you think of this tier list. Me personally, I think it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with myself. Keep in mind, this all might change. This all might be different in the future. Teams could lose to other teams. Teams could win. It's just it all depends. And this is before week 12, so we'll see today what happens with the NFL teams. But that's a wrap. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever you want to do to support the channel. I appreciate all the love, all the support that you guys have given me. I'll definitely post a lot more shorts. I'll try to get more videos out too, like this. And see you all, and that's Ruyan out. Bye-bye.